What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. I hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. So, Mr. Shakur Stevenson is the talk of the town right now. He's snapping out on everybody on Twitter. They got something negative to say about him. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, all right, man. I was like, yo, I'm all for him bringing the smoke to Cam and Mason them for trying to clown him out and all of that. But then he started giving smoke to people that really support him heavily, like Tim Bradley and stuff, right? So I'm like, Shakur, Tim was really speaking positively of you the whole fight almost. He was really giving you a lot of props and, you know, upholding your name in high regard. Anyway, after, you know, the fight and after the aftermath of him going off on Twitter, I see a lot of folks, black people, like, yo, Shakur fights in the same fashion that Floyd did. Why didn't we as black folks criticize Floyd Mayweather Jr. the way we criticized Shakur Stevenson, right? And I thought that was a great topic for me to talk about, right? Why didn't the black community criticize Floyd Mayweather Jr. the same way they criticized Shakur Stevenson when they both fought with a defensive style? One of the main reasons the black community did not get on Floyd Mayweather Jr. is Floyd Mayweather was the only one that we had of his ilk in boxing at that time, right? We had we had other great black fighters, but they were not great, like pantheon great like Floyd Mayweather was. Zab Judah, Sugar Shane Mosley. You know, we had a lot of like great fighters within that division and that weight class, welterweight, super welterweight, or whatever. But we didn't have Paul Williams, individuals like that, but none of them were of the ilk of Floyd Mayweather Jr. And see, black folks recognize, yeah, even if we don't like his style of fighting, we got to support him because he's the only one we got that's undefeated, that's out here beating other world champions. Even if we aren't a fan of his defensive style, who else we gonna rock with? It's our only one. We got to protect him. We have to have a sense of community around him to uplift him because this is our sole guy who is the one that can beat all of the other top fighters in boxing. Black folks tribal. We gotta rock with our guy. In Shakur Stevenson's case, Shakur ain't gonna get that coverage because they can look to Baltimore, Maryland and see Gervonta Tank Davis, a guy who's also undefeated, but also has an exciting fighting style because he got cannons in either hand. You see what I'm saying? If Shakur was the only black fighter that we had of these, you know, of the Teofimo Lopez's and the Ryan Garcias and the Pitbull Cruzes and, you know, the Vasily Lomachenko's, if he was the only black fighter we had, the black community, I bet you, would galvanize behind him. Because who else we gonna turn to? But see, when you got Tank Davis in the mix, oh man, you got Tank. Like, I promise you, if Tank wasn't here and Devin was still here and Tank wasn't around, people would rock with Shakur because who else we gonna turn to? We tribal. This is our last hope for a guy for an undefeated champion to beat the other guys. We want to root for our guy. We want to root for the dude that look like us, right? But we got another dude that look like us that's black that got that shit. And it's hard for people to get around, to galvanize around Shakur when they got another dude who fights a really exciting style, who takes risk, but is a knockout artist. The public likes to see knockouts. So, yeah, they ain't going to root for Shakur like that when they see their style compare that to Tank Davis' style. And Tank Davis is not even a valiant puncher. He don't throw a lot of punches, right? He wears you down as the fight goes on. He stalks you. Once he figures out he's got you fatigued and he figures out, you know, how he can attack you, it's over. He starts unloading then. And then you're one shot away from being knocked out, and that's what keeps people at the edge of their seat. Shakur doesn't have that style. He has an Olympic style. So when you're comparing him to Tank Davis, oh no, the black folks ain't finna ride with Shakur. They gonna criticize him and call him boring because we got another guy who doesn't have a boring fighting style, right? Now, in Floyd Mayweather's case, I never thought his fighting style was boring at all. But a lot of casuals would whisper amongst themselves, yo, the fight was kind of boring. Casual black fans would say, yo, the fight was kind of boring. It's kind of boring. Not we, but other casual boxing fans would say that amongst each other. But in the public, they didn't dare shit on Floyd Mayweather Jr. in public. Because, like, goddamn it, we keep that in-house. We keep that shit in-house, that criticism of Floyd Mayweather Jr., because this is the only dude we got. And recognizing that black folks say, yo, we gotta uplift him regardless if we like the fight or not, if we like his defensive fighting style or not, we gotta keep that shit to ourselves. Only a few black folks I've seen for real, really criticize Floyd's style. For real. Most black folks ride with him because we tribal and that's the only dude we had. Now, furthermore, Floyd Mayweather Jr. doesn't get criticized. The black community galvanized behind him more than Shakur with the defensive fighting style, because Floyd Mayweather Jr. basically, like, he made you miss, but he made you pay too. He wasn't just making you miss, he was countering the hell out of you with accurate punches, thudding shots, even though he's not a knockout artist. Now, he was a knockout artist. He was stopping guys at 130, 135, 140. He was stopping guys left and right. When he got to 147, his hands started to break down and become brittle, right? And Floyd is naturally a smaller guy. He's a very small guy, very small. So his hands became brittle, and he didn't have the same type of power at 47 and 54, 154. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, he was still making guys pay more. He was making you miss and make you pay for it. And we had some fights of Floyd in his older years when he was throwing some combinations because he had to. When he fought Marcos Maidana, he threw combinations in that fight that I've not seen Shakur really do like that. Now, Shakur fucked up Jamel Herring, and he fucked Oscar Valdez up. He fucked up Oscar Valdez, and he whooped on Jamel Herring. But I remember, because listen, when Floyd got older, he became more of a pot-shotting type of fighter. He was not throwing a whole lot of combinations. It's only certain fights when he did that. He did it against Canelo. But when he fought Marcos Maidana, because Marcos Maidana's style was so smothering, Floyd had to keep him off of him. And so that's when you saw him throwing combination. He was throwing hooks, uppercuts, jabbing. You know what I mean? He was doubling up the jab, tripling up the jab. He was right cross, left cross. He was throwing shit at Marcos Maidana because he knew he had to keep him off him, because, dude, his style, his pressure was so overwhelming that Floyd had to say, no, okay, I got something for your ass. You want to keep in here, coming up in here with the smothering style? I got to let these combinations go to let you feel something, to let you know it's not going, I got to keep you honest. You know what I mean? Canelo threw combinations. Who else he threw combinations with when he was Money Mayweather? Right? And see, I bring up these fights because the black America did not watch, because some of y'all going to say, well, Floyd was a knockout machine early in his career compared to Shakur Stevenson. But black America did not, the casual black America did not watch Floyd Mayweather Jr. in his early years when he was Money Mayweather. A lot of casual black boxing fans' introduction to Floyd Mayweather Jr. was when he fought Oscar De La Hoya. They didn't see him whoop on Gennaro Hernandez, Angel Man Freddy. Now, okay, even earlier, I mean, certain years closer, you know, early 2000s, they didn't see him stop Diego Corrales. They didn't see him whoop on Arturo Gatti, whoop on Zab Judah. They didn't see him whoop on Philip Indu, Sharm Bay Mitchell, Emmanuel Augustus, the Drunken Master. They didn't see him whoop on Carlos Baldemir. They didn't see them fights. Black Americans, the casual black American boxers, black folks don't watch boxing like that. I'm being for real with y'all. Most black people do not watch. I can't talk about boxing with the average black person like that, especially people my age. But even guys older, they'll ask you who you think will win between Floyd Mayweather and Muhammad Ali. They'll let you know they don't watch boxing. Most of my people don't, because they don't know there's weight classes for a reason. You can't even compare the two. Some people think Floyd is a lightweight. They think Errol Spence and them is middleweights or almost heavyweights. They don't know what weight class Tank fight at. Most people don't. You know what I mean? So knowing that my people wasn't watching boxing until he fought they wasn't watching Floyd until he fought Oscar De La Hoya, because it was such a big event, and the shit talking that Floyd was doing in that fight, because Floyd recognized this is a chance for the changing of the guard for me to be the pay-per-view star. And then once he became Money Mayweather after beating Oscar De La Hoya, he did stop, what's my man name? Ricky Hatton. He whooped on Juan Manuel Marquez, smoked him out. Who he beat after that? Shane Mosley. Then he beat Victor Ortiz. I'm mixing some of the fights up. Miguel Cotto, etc. Right? Now, but he became more of a pot shot artist in them later years because of his hands. And so he did have even though he was making guys pay more than Shakur was, and he was making guys pay more than Shakur was, he was still pot-shotting guys. And that fight with Manny Pacquiao was not exciting at all. That was a bad fight. But Floyd used his skills in a Shakur Stevenson type fashion to outclass Manny Pacquiao easily. But black folks, amongst black people, a lot of black folks was whispering how boring the fight was. But we didn't dare say that shit out in public because we knew that was the only guy we had at the time that was holding us down as black folks and reigning supreme. We couldn't criticize him like that. You know what I mean? Because despite that pot-shotting style, you know, one punch at a time, because Floyd got older, he threw less and less combinations, especially if he didn't have to. You know what I mean? But black folks stayed hush about it. Even though he was fighting like in a similar way like Shakur. Like that Manny Pacquiao fight, he fought like Shakur Stevenson would fight. And black folks criticized it amongst ourselves, but we didn't say shit about it publicly like that. We had to ride with Floyd. I only saw a few people saying shit about it like that, like criticizing it for being boring. Because we had to ride with Floyd because he's the only black fighter we had. Shakur ain't gonna get that type of love because Tank Davis is in the mix. And they see that young boy from Baltimore, Maryland, he got the look. He got the street aura on him. The street dudes galvanized behind him. The girls like how he look. He knocking dudes out left and right. He got an exciting style. Even though he don't throw a lot of punches, he can hurt you. And you know a knockout, he's one punch away from a knockout. And as long as Shakur got him in the division, he ain't going to be, in the division, in boxing, black folks ain't going to galvanize behind him if he's fighting in a style like he's fighting now. He's going to have to take more risk to get people to even like him. They still ain't gonna fuck with him more than they fuck with Tank Davis. And that's why the black community ain't galvanized behind Shakur Stevenson like they did Floyd Mayweather Jr. I'm out.